Fred, I think we need to be sincere. CDF is not controlled by members of parliament. There is NG-CDF board. That's a very independent and authoritarian body that governs and controls CDF. Our job in CDF as members of parliament is basically oversight. So when you say MPs are controlling CDF, whoever is saying that is misguided. And he needs to come and at least enroll in a class to be trained so that he or she understands how CDF operates. Because if you talk of CDF, MPs don't even sign any check. When it comes to drafting the proposals that go to NG-CDF board, that is a job of an employee of government called fund manager, who is also very independent. And the fund managers work very closely with an accountant who is employed by Treasury. And then there is a committee of CDF. In that committee, people tend to say MPs control the committee. The committee, yes, it is selected from the community, and their job is to collect views from the people so that they prioritize the concerns of the common man or common woman. And whatever they prioritize, they share with the fund manager, who puts in a draft that goes to the NG-CDF board. Once the NG-CDF board approves, or once they authenticate whatever has been brought on the table, they issue something called coding list. And at that point, they release money to the schools, not to an account managed by the member of parliament. And for your information, 90% of NG-CDF goes to development, 10% goes to administration. It pays salaries of employees employed by NG-CDF board.
Were constituencies intended as development units or units for representation?
Let me explain to you. Our budget is never itemized. And that started from 1963. That's why there is a huge or gross disparity on levels to do with development. If there was no NG-CDF, all areas and with an understanding of how ethnicized our budget and the resource distribution is done, you'll find the areas who will lack behind completely. We have noted, for example, before NG-CDF, and you can agree with me, we went to school when there was no NG-CDF. Arambis was the norm. And the poor students from poor families used to spend most of their time on the roads, going to get money to come and fund development or construction of school infrastructure. When it came to bursaries, the only lifeline the poor learners have is NG-CDF bursaries. If you take away this, then you are going to have a country where only the rich can go to school, and the poor, their dreams will be completely shattered. Okay. When it comes to the road maintenance levy fund, by the way, I'm really concerned. When you talk of road maintenance levy fund, that money goes to KERA, Kenya Rural Roads Authority. And it also goes to Kenya National Highways Authority. It also goes to KURA, Kenya Urban Roads Authority. If you take away this money, and with understanding of our roads, particularly the rural areas, the condition they are in is pathetic. Mm-hmm. And the KERA roads are maintained to standard because the people who supervise, these are qualified, competent engineers. So if you take away this money and give it to county government, then you are telling it's like you are taking our country back more than 30 years, where our roads will be impassable and at the same level of ethnicized development or distribution of resources will take a central stage. And when you talk of counties, I would expect the same people who are trailing guns to Kenya Roads Maintenance Levy and NG-CDF to do the same on corruption that you have seen in the county government. Okay. Just the other day, the day before yesterday, Governor Matangi was found with more than, I would say more than 10 million in his house. No one is talking about theft that we have witnessed since 2013, when devolution
does that-
began.
does that
We have 82.
Does that justify a violation of the principle of separation of powers?
I think Fred